welcome to today's PAX East 2014 special episode of Ask Tatjana with Rana McAnear. We're here asking her what it's like to be a cosplay superstar. So Rana, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got here today.
Yeah, I'm Rana McAnear, as you said, and I'm cosplaying as Samara from Mass Effect 2 and 3, and I was the face model they used for the game, and I was also the face model for Morinth as well. And about 4 years ago, I held a fundraiser to make the first costume and decided to kind of jump into the cosplay world, and here I am.
Here you are.
Yeah.
So Rana, tell us a little about how the face scanning process went. Like, did you just go in, or was it a long kind of thing? Tell us about what that was like.
Yeah, so they had me go in and I had to put a wig cap on, and for all of you who don't know, I have this massive amount of hair, so that was quite awkward to get it all up in there. But they had me put a wig cap on, very glamorous, and go and sit in this chair, and it was revolving chair, 360, and they just did a 3D scan of my face. It was quick, painless, in and out. And Casey Hudson, who's the executive producer of Mass Effect, he was there, and he kind of told me, he's like, normally we like to have like a straight face, but with this character, she's very stern, and so I kind of,
had to sternify yourself.
Like more, yeah, which is totally out of character for me. And then the chair rotated, and they just, scanned all the way around my head, and then I went into a different room where they took some pictures of my range of motion in my face. So they had me like raise one eyebrow and smile and sort of like do just different kind of expressions, and then I was done.
Was your body involved at all?
Not at all. Just my face.
Just your face.
Yeah, they just wanted.
Now Morinth looks slightly different from Samara,
Right.
if I am correct.
Yes.
Now Samara, you look identical.
Right.
The shape of your eyeballs, like your freckles,
Right.
your cheekbones, which I admire your cheekbones very much. But what did they change for, Morinth? And did they use another person, or did they just modify you?
Yeah, they modified me, and it was actually interesting because I didn't know that I was two characters until I was looking through like the playbook, and they had a picture of Morinth, and I saw it and I was like, that's my freckle. Like, she has a freckle right above her right temple, and I have that same freckle, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's me too. And then I think they widened my smile a little bit, and then with Samara, they did like widen the iris.
So she's pretty like big eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course, they lengthened the neck, and I think they made my lips a little fuller too. But other than that, it was like an exact blueprint of my freckles, my eye color. Like, most people are like, oh, are you wearing contacts? And then it's like, oh, did you match the makeup to match your eyes, or vice versa? And I was like, no, they just, maybe that's why they picked me, because my eyes were already blue. Because I just, answered an ad on Model Mayhem that they wanted someone with strong features,
but you definitely have, like, your facial structure is just like incredibly impressive. That's when I actually met Rana last year at PAX East, and first thing I noticed, like, those cheekbones, like, I've seen them somewhere, like, oh my god, it's her.
Thanks Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
My joke I always say, and of course my dad, sorry, he's a little, my dad goes, you're welcome, it was fun doing it. I was like, wow, Dad, awkward, oh, la 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 la. Yeah, so, but yeah, and then he, when I met you too, I always love that reaction, like, wow, you look just like her.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thanks, yeah. So, it works out, and I have a joke too about, like, people are like, oh, those cheekbones, they could cut glass, and so I was like, oh, so I went one time, and I was at a convention, and it has weapons check, and I'm like, you think I should get these piece tied? Like,
Piece bottom cheekbones, like threading it through your mouth.
I've heard these are weapons, so, but yeah, anyways,
Okay, so when did you decide from, becoming the blueprint of Samara, between then and, I don't know when you started this, when did you decide and when did it start happening, to become the cosplay superstar of pretty much Mass Effect? I mean, you're up there with, Holly Conrad in terms of like how exact you look and how popular you are. What made you decide to do this?
Yeah, so I started a fan page. Well, face models typically don't get credited in the game, so when the game came out, I kind of went on the forums and was like, hey, that's me, like, isn't it so cool? And a couple of my friends had played Mass Effect 1, so they were like, I can't believe you're in the second one, that's so amazing. And my cousin is a big gamer and whatever else, and I ended up starting a fan page because I kind of had some random friend requests after that, and so I started a fan page, and a fan for one of her school projects did a Photoshop project of my face of one of my modeling pictures where she had photoshopped me to look like Samara. So she, turned me blue and she put like this biotic crown on me and everything. And my cousin, big gamer and whatever else, and she said, you should cosplay as yourself. And at that time I was like, cosplay, what's that? And I went, Wikipedia, like, oh yeah, of course, that would be amazing. So I had actually, contacted Holly to work on my costume because she had already been, a fan of the Mass Effect. And she said, oh, that's going to be hard. It's going to cost a lot of money. So I was like, okay. And then I kind of talked to another fan, and he's like, you should have a fundraiser. So I was like, okay. So in 4 days, I raised $5,500.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, there was one gentleman who chooses to remain anonymous, and he donated, I think, $3,500.
Wow.
Just because he said, I love cosplay, and I think that this would be amazing. And my initial intention was to hopefully cosplay and then maybe do charity events and that stuff. I'm a cancer survivor. I had leukemia when I was 16, so I always love to give back and whatever I can do. And so it was kind of one of those things where I could maybe use this as sort of a catapult to get me where I am, which is amazing.
And then
that's kind of what we did today.
Rana actually did a fundraiser with all the Mass Effect cast that were here for St. Jude's Hospital. Donations, got photos and an autograph?
Just photos, and then tomorrow will be the autograph.
And is that also a charity event as well?
That's to pay for my way out here.
Hey, whatever you need to do. You give back, people are giving back to you, and you're giving back to the people.
Yeah,
and that's what makes you really stick out.
It was amazing. I mean, the lineup was incredible, and so many amazing people donating to the charity, and it was very, very inspiring.
It is good to hear that people are giving back, and associating video games with giving back, it makes it almost a little easier for people to have access to these charities. I went to a nerd convention, but I didn't really give back. But here you are making that possible for people at PAX to give back. So that's wonderful that you're doing that.
Yeah.
So going over the costume, I think you told me previously it takes about 3 hours to get everything together. So can you run us through the steps of what you have to do in the morning to get everything done?
Yeah, so first of all, with that massive hair of mine, I used to be able to kind of put it up in 2 buns, and this part here is all hollow inside, so I'm able to put my hair in 2 buns up in the cowl here up top. This is like,
totally
hollow.
Squishy.
It's latex, and but my hair, I guess, has gotten so long. It's mid-back, and it's gotten quite massive.
Hair.
Yeah. So last time I put it on, it wouldn't go on all the way, so I had to braid it in like
Princess Leia kind of things.
Or I did 4 braids, kind of like cornrow style, and then piled them up on top of my head, so you probably feel back here where they are, and they kind of were. And then I had to put a wig cap on, and then I use a glue stick to
just a regular old kindergarten toolbox glue stick. Okay.
Drag queen trick apparently.
Interesting.
And I use a glue stick to do my eyebrows, and then the headpiece goes to right about here, and then I use Prozaid or Prozaid, they pronounce it either way. It's a prosthetic adhesive to stick it all on, and then I kind of, you know, wait a little bit, and you know, it's a 3-hour process because it's like putting it on and then waiting for it to dry. And then I usually use like a Prozaid Cavo composite, which is kind of like a spackle filler, and I go in and sort of like do the blending edge, but I ran out, so so I ended up using glue stick to sort of like spackle through it all, and then I take a sponge and dab on the blue makeup with Final Seal, Benai Final Seal, which is, you know, just to help it because it's a water-based makeup. So
that way it doesn't, when you sweat, like it kind of stays on. Is that what the purpose? Okay.
Yeah, so it activates it. You can use it with water, but with the Final Seal, it like really stays because it's all.
I was gonna say, I can't even, if you've been sweating today, I honestly can't even tell. Like, it really looks smooth and everything.
Thank
and then
you.
these pieces right here on your head, is that also glued on with a glue stick?
No, this is on with the Prozaid or Prozaid. And yeah, I just, you kind of have to put it on. It's sort of like, you know, you have to wait until it becomes tacky and stick it on. And for a while I was using spirit gum, and it sort of like ate away and left residue on the headpiece. So I took quite a while today to kind of smooth it out, and it still needs a little work. And I'm, you know, after doing it for 4 years, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and
section is painted.
Right, yeah, I basically like paint like a section like all the way through here, and then I kind of paint the back of my neck a little bit too. But it's kind of like a waste of paint if I, you know, I just kind of want it. Yeah, and you know, I don't want to ruin the illusion that I'm not actually blue. I'm sorry, I'm not actually blue.
She's not, I thought she was. And then the costume itself, I mean, it has changed since I last saw it. I think you had different shoes. I know you were Red Samara before.
Yes.
But tell us, you know, who helped you put this together, you know, who needs the credit for this wonderful costume?
Right, well, it was commissioned by the Mass Effect Cast Cosplay Initiative, so people donated to that. And then my friend, or the girl that commissioned it, who's now my friend, her name is Delaney, and she has a Facebook, and I'll make sure I send you the link, so there'll be a link on it. I can't remember. It's like Blue Monkey Sky or something like that.
Random colors, verbs.
Yeah, so I'll make sure you get the link for that. But she did this from Kentucky, so I had to, she sent me this huge list of like, you know, she needs like from here to here measurement, and you know, from here to here, and it was like really a list of like 50 different measurements to sew the bodysuit. And then she did, I think she said it was about 100 pattern pieces, because she did, these are all individual pieces.
So all the strips on your leg.
All the strips are all individual pieces.
You can't even tell. I mean, it looks like it's
flawless,
smooth,
right?
all
I know. She's
so even this here, this is all.
These are all individual pieces.
And your arms as well?
And these are all, and it's lined, it's almost fully lined as well. And so she patterned it out, and then she made a mock-up suit out of this like atrocious fabric, because it had, you know, it was the cheapest, but it had the same stretch. So she made a mock-up and sent that to me, and you know, just because of the way that it's sewed and she's not there, it was like really big throughout the torso, so she had to, you know, make some adjustments to that. And then she was able to send it to me on Monday, which, you know, it was pushing it there, but we got it. And then I had to, in the back here, I had to take it in a little bit throughout here, just because, again, of the, you know,
it's all individual pieces.
Yeah, and it was, you know, just a different pattern. So yeah, I had to take it in here, and then she cut these out for me.
Oh, the shoes are like they're covers.
So these are little, just each one is like an individual piece, and they have like a bonding agent on them, where I just had to iron it on.
Wow.
And in each individual one, and these are all actually just gold necklace pearls. And then I went out and bought my stripper shoes at like literally a stripper store. And she gave me excess of this fabric, and I used a spray glue adhesive to put it on, and then I just stretched it around the shoe.
Wow.
It looks like
it honestly looks like it came like that. Like, it's all.
I was so proud of myself.
Like, as you should be.
I was definitely like, this is the first costume that, because I've done Morinth as well, and you know, I have that Morinth costume as well, and you know, this is the first costume that I've done this much on and put, you know, this much effort into it. On the original Samara costume, I did some minor repairs to it. And the Morinth costume was made by my friend Taylor Bennett, and she, you know, made it so flawless that it doesn't really need anything, so it was great. But this one, you know, because she didn't know where to position everything, and then I also had to sew in my own space boobs. So
space boobs.
This is all padding on the outside. This is me, but this is padding. And I have a really great bra on from Victoria's Secret that it's meant to be a low cut bra, and then I had to like sew on Velcro to get it all to stick.
Wow.
And then this is actually 3 cut bras put together to get,
like, I'm not like, to stare at your chest or anything,
but
like, it's amazing that there are 3 bras on this woman right now. Like, is it comfortable?
It's
like from
fine.
a woman's perspective?
Well,
like,
it's cut up bras, so they're just sitting there like in
so
the
it's like
lining.
a Tetris of bras,
Right.
pretty much. Okay.
Yeah. So that was quite interesting. And then, you know, she didn't know exactly where to place those because she wasn't here, so I had to, you know, do that. And then of course, like my boyfriend was helping me too, and he was like, you know, like, here, let me make that.
Let me puzzle your boobs together.
Yeah. So then I had to hand stitch those in between the lining and the suit itself. And then I put those on myself.
And then these parts.
And this, so her boyfriend made these.
Okay.
This is EVA foam, and my friend Will, he's WM Armory. He made my newer red armor. I don't know if I had it at PAX last year, I can't remember, but my new red armor is like super shiny, and he's like a rock star when it comes to EVA foam. So they used Will's technique on how to, it's called wet sanding, and you like wet the sandpaper, and then you spray water on the EVA foam, and you sand it, and then it's a spray tool dip, or I think he used spray paint. But you know, my original armor, and then Will made this.
I was gonna say it's a neck piece, and is Will did this as well? Or
no, this is them, and it's craft foam. Okay. Just painted craft foam. But yeah, Will made this, but this was so hard to replicate that, you know, they were like, oh, is it alright if we use this? And I was like, yeah, you know, because it was already the same color. So this is, you know, EVA foam. It's really lightweight, and then we had to, my boyfriend helped put the Velcro on to keep it all together.
So you can't take everything off.
So it all, exactly. And there's a zipper in the back, which is my other Samara suit.
I was gonna say, like,
I didn't have a zipper.
How do you bathroom?
Yeah. It's I mean, I have to take the armor off, but then there's a zipper in the back that has like a nice pull string, so I can kind of pull it off myself. Because my other suit, I literally had to, like, you know, take off one shoulder at a time and like shimmy my way. Or
the Samara bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Or, like, you know, shimmy my way into it too. It was like this kind of like
awkward
move. Like
thing.
Getting it all in. So and then, you know, she made the gloves, and I actually I traced my hand and scanned it and sent it to her, and so then she just cut out.
That's
my
I never would have thought of that, actually. That's incredibly ingenious.
I was like, do you want me to just, and so she just, you know, this is the lining material that she used, and then just glued these on. And there's actually a few pieces missing to the suit because I just kind of ran out of time, and, you know, just there's some more gold like here that I'm gonna put in later. And then she also put like she made this amazing stencil of the octagon shape or the honeycomb shape, you know, and she put it on the suit and sprayed the, you know, all of that.
I was going to ask you how she achieved all that. For it being individual pieces, how did she do that? But that's really
so
cool.
she sewed it all together, and then she pinned it to a cardboard thing, and then put the so that it all kind of stretched out, and then she put the stencil on it, and then she actually sprayed it with enamel paint.
Oh wow!
So
interesting. And is it comfortable? I mean, do you have any issues? I mean, I know your last suit, you know, you had some technical difficulties with it and such, but you look more at ease in this suit. When I saw you last year, you're pretty much like, I've been in this all day. But I mean, now, you look really like, I've been in this all day.
That was
doesn't matter.
That was the point. It was like, okay, let's get a breathable fabric this time, because the old suit was a wetsuit material. It was neoprene.
That's not fun.
No. it basically held all the sweat, and then I was hot, and then I would go in the cold, and I was cold.
And then like, you could get pneumonia, and then that would be bad.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, forgive the term, but there was a lot of, swamp ass going on.
We all know what swamp ass is. If you got to E3, PAX, Comic-Con, the grocery store, and your air conditioner broke, swamp ass is a serious issue with cosplay.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Definitely sympathize with you.
So I actually ended up getting, especially in San Diego, and then I went to Dragon Con, which is like humidity and craziness. So I end up from the dollar store, from the 99 cents only store, they have these headache pads that are mentholated, and they're like a gel that have a sticky side.
So kind of like a, what are they called, the icy hots kind of?
Kind of, but they're sticky, and you just kind of like take off the plastic and you stick them on your forehead, and they're supposed to cool, and so I actually put those like under, when I'm in hot places, I put those.
Cosplay tip.
Very good cosplay tip, because they're thin and they smell good because they're like menthol. Yeah, so I put them under my armpits and on my wrists actually, which for whatever reason helps a lot. Yeah, the veins.
It's like a main artery there.
Yeah, and then like down my back a little bit, and depending on how hot it was. One year I put too many, and I was like, I'm so cold, and everybody was like, how are you cold? I'm like, menthol. Yeah, exactly. So it's a great tip. And then that suit, I mean, it's definitely held up through the years, but I didn't have really any say in the fabric. It was just kind of chosen for me.
Yeah. So
it was like, okay, this is what you're wearing, and I was like, are you kidding me? But I mean, it was the right, sheen, and it was mainly for like a few hours at a time. But I like to push the limits, and I go
do it all day,
12 to 14 hours without peeing.
I was gonna say, if you put all that work into it, you might as well make the sacrifice of having to pee really bad for X amount of hours.
Yes,
I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, and I like, take sips of water throughout the day, but I really don't drink very much. And it's just a joke to get in and out of it. So, I mean, this is so much nicer, and it's breathable, and it's, this is like cotton, natural fiber, and I mean, and this is fine too. So, yeah.
Awesome. So, I know that you travel all across the country, and Rana does this to show you, that she's a part of the community, and a part of the gaming community. So tell us how we can help you get to the next show, and what you want your next show to be.
Gosh, I don't know what I necessarily want my next show to be. I guess, wherever you want me to be, that's the biggest one. What's really helpful is emailing the con and asking them to have me as a guest, because that way they'll hopefully, put me up, get me a ticket, at least that, and then I can maybe hold a fundraiser to get the flight out there. I've had amazing fans who have, generously donated to help me get out to all these different cons. So, just get the word out there and let the con know that you want me there. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And because I really have no say in it. And for me, if I get like 5 to 10 people contacting me saying, hey, we want you at our con, that to me kind of equals at least 100. It's kind of like that small percentage who knows who I am. Then there's going to be a bigger percentage who are going to be excited to see me there, and that kind of thing. So even, starting a petition or like those kinds of things, and just spreading the word. I have a Facebook page, a fan page. It's facebook.com // that slash thing, Samara ME2.
Awesome, and all those links will be provided below, as well as any fundraisers that you can send to us, and we will link you to them, as well as your Twitter and your Instagram and your website.
I have a website, yes.
What is your website URL?
It's RanaMcAnear.com.
There you go.
My name.com.
Simple enough. Well, Rana, we want to thank you so much for joining us today. Is there one last thing that you want to say to the fans out there?
Thank you so much for supporting me and my cosplay, and it's been an amazing ride, and I hope to meet all of you at a future con.
Thank you, Rana.